Hi everyone, in this lecture we are going to talk about justify items. Now it is time to align grid items within their grid specific cells. Now there are two sets of alignments, actually three sets. The third one belongs to the grid items properties. As far as grid container properties are concerned, there are two sets of alignment. One is aligning grid items within their specific grid cells, and the second one is aligning the entire grid items collectively within their grid container. These are different, and the more we talk about them, the more you'll understand. So we have our 20 items. And in here we have all of the styling. What I've done is I've created the display grid, and the gap is 5 pixels. We have 4 columns, each of them is 1 FR, and I've provided a different background for the container, the background that is different from the items. The reason for that is so you can distinguish between where the item is and where the container is actually. So this green, light sea green that you can see, that is the container. The reason that you can see it is because of the gap. The gap provides a peek through, like a peek to the container. Let's go ahead and let's inspect this. Let's grab the section, and here we are. Now you can see that this item one, this is all the way to left. You could center it, you could put it on the right, you could move it to top, you could move it to bottom, you could do whatever you want with it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create grid template rows as well. I'm going to say repeat 5 rows, let's say 4 rows, 5 columns, 150 pixels. There we go. See that? Let's bring this down. There we go. So now it's a little bit more visible and a little bit more easy to understand. There we go. Let's just refresh the page. That's it. Perfect. So what does justify items do? Justify items, it is going to align grid items horizontally or along the row axis or along the inline axis within their respective grid tracks or grid cells. In a combination of grid cells in either direction is going to be a grid track. So if I say justify items, don't confuse this with Flexbox. Flexbox does not have justify items. It has those properties. They work very differently. Than their names are maybe similar, but they work very differently. Now the first one is stretch. This is going to be the default. What it means is take up the entire available space by your grid track, and if we save it, nothing is going to happen because it is stretch. The other one let's talk about is center, and now you can see that because it is horizontal, all the items are centered within their container. We also have justify items start. This is going to be the start of their grid cell. Within their grid cells, you can see they go towards the start. And we also have justify items end. So with flex, we had flex start, but for grid, we just have start. We don't have any flex. So these are the 4 property values that we have. That's it for this lecture. See you in the next one.